Today's lesson is on the Pythagorean Theorem. So when we look at the Pythagorean Theorem, we're looking specifically at a right triangle. Okay, so the Pythagorean Theorem states that in any right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs is equal to the square of the length of the hypotenuse. So a right triangle, your legs are the two sides that form that right angle. They're called your legs. Your hypotenuse is the side opposite of those, okay? It's across from that right angle. That's your hypotenuse. It's also considered the longest side. So when you read that definition, in any right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs. So if you call this leg A and this is leg B, the sum of their squares is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So it's equal to the square of that hypotenuse, which we call C. So that's where this formula comes from. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's this relationship that a right triangle has with these legs and that hypotenuse, that in order for it to be a right triangle, this will be true. If this is not true, it is not a right triangle. So you can use the Pythagorean theorem to find missing lengths of right triangles. So here we're going to see, it says find the length of the hypotenuse of the right triangle. So you're going to set this up by using your theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, so a and b are the legs of your triangle. They're what create the right angle. So you have 7 squared plus 24 squared equals c squared. It doesn't matter which one you call a and which one you call b. So now we're actually just going to solve this. So 7 squared is 49 plus 24 squared is 576 equals c squared. Okay, simplify the left side here. You're going to get 625 equals c squared. Well, if I know that a value squared equals 625, then we're going to use our inverse operations. Just like we do solving any one-step equation, we're going to square root. So square root both sides, and you'll find out that the length of your hypotenuse for this one is 25 centimeters. Use the same process in the next one. So your legs, so a squared, so we'll call it 7 squared, plus b squared, which is 10 squared, equals c squared. I could have done 10 squared plus 7 squared. It doesn't matter. So 7 squared is 49 plus 10 squared is 100 equals c squared. Simplify your left side, so you get 149 equals c squared. So then at this point, we're going to do our inverse operation, and we're going to square root both sides. Since 149 is not a perfect square, we're just going to use our calculator, and we're going to find the square root of 149, and we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So we're going to say C is approximately equal to 12.2. We're just going to round that. So you can also use that Pythagorean theorem not just to find your hypotenuse, but also to find a missing leg. So when you're doing this and you say, okay, well, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, I'm going to say a squared is going to be that 3.5, so 3.5 squared plus b squared is going to stay as b squared equals the hypotenuse across from that right angle equals that 6.5 squared. So in this one, simplify your exponents first. Okay, so you're going to, 3.5 squared is going to be 12.25. Drop down the plus b squared equals, and then 6.5 squared is 42.25. Okay, we're going to solve it just like any one-step equation, and we're going to subtract 12.25 from both sides. So minus 12.25, and here you're going to get b squared equals 30. So same concept, we're going to square root both sides, and we're going to just round it to the nearest tenth. So you're going to get B is approximately equal to 5.5 kilometers. Go ahead and pause the video and try number 4. So B's value is 12.5 yards. We can use our Pythagorean theorem to actually look at word problems in real life situations. So your boat is traveling due north at 20 miles per hour. Your friend's boat left at the same time from the same dock and headed due west at 15 miles per hour. After 1 hour, your friend calls you to tell you he's out of gas. How far must you travel to rescue your friend? So I like to always draw a visual with these things. So here's the dock. That would help if I use the marker. Here's the dock. Your boat is traveling due north, so at 20 miles an hour. So after an hour, how far do you go? Okay, well, we go 20 miles. Your friend left from the same dock and is traveling due west at 15 miles an hour. So after an hour, he's gone 15. So right there's a right angle. It says after an hour, your friend calls you to tell you he's out of gas. So how far do you have to travel? All right, well, a straight line here is the fastest route. So how far is it going to take you to go to there? You are looking for your hypotenuse. You're looking for that distance that's across from the right angle. So here you're going to have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So how far you must travel? So let c equal distance traveled. Whoop. So 20 squared plus 15 squared equals c squared. Okay, and then you're going to solve that. So pause the video, go ahead and solve it. And you get 25 equals c. Okay, baseball diamond is a square with sides of 90 feet. To the nearest foot, how long is the throw from first base to third base? Again, I like to draw a picture. So you have your baseball diamond. Okay. So first base is right here. Third base is right here. So how far is that throw? That's what I want to know. Well, in a baseball diamond, that's your right angle right there. So again, you're looking for that hypotenuse. So let's see equal. We're going to let it equal. I'm going to let it equal distance again. Okay. So it says baseball diamond is square with sides of 90 feet. So this is 90 and this is 90. So those are your A's and your B's. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So again, pause that video and you can find out what C's value is. So C is approximately equal to 127.3. So it'll be 127.3 feet away. So Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A and B are the legs which create the right angle. C is always your longest side across from the right angle, and it's called your hypotenuse.